The next thing that we need to do is to change the way Microsoft Word displays paragraphs. So what we're going to do is that the MLA rules require that paragraphs have the first line of the paragraph be shifted by half an inch from the left. This is called first line indentation. Now there's many ways that we could do this. Now in here we want to look at this little symbol in the ruler. Now since we don't have any text right now to show you how this works, I'm going to show you with a different document. So I'm going to go to a document that I have here, and I'm going to show you what happens when you leave the cursor inside a paragraph and you play around with these guys right here. Now there are three parts to this symbol right here. You got the bottom part. When you point at it, it should say left indent. When you point at the middle one, it should say hanging indent, and when you point at the top one, it says first line indent. What that means is that the top one controls the first line of the paragraph, the middle one controls the rest of the paragraph, and the bottom one controls the whole paragraph. So if I need to change the indentation on this paragraph, I could do it by grabbing the whole paragraph and then moving that, clicking and dragging, and moving it, let's say, to the 1 inch position. So notice that by pointing at the bottom one, I was able to move the whole paragraph. Now I'm going to pick the middle one. Now the middle one moves everything except for the first line. So I'm going to click on it and bring it back to the 1 inch to the 0 position. Notice that I changed everything except for the first line. Now if I want to move the first line, I could point to the top, and then if I want to bring it to the right, I'm going to put it in the 2 inch position. Now it's in the 2 inch position. If I want to put it the way the book wants us to do, okay, which is to put it in the half inch position. So this is how MLA will require the paragraphs to be identified. Now let me go back to my triangulation paper, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to grab the top section right here, and we're going to move it to the half inch marking. So from now on, when we create a new paragraph, the paragraph will automatically be indented on the first line. Now let me go ahead and type the first paragraph. Now I just finished my first sentence in here. I'm going to type in the next sentence, and the next word, which is the, should start with a capital T. If I by mistake do not type in the capital T, if I type in THE and I press the space bar, it automatically makes the correction. This is called autocorrect. Microsoft Word includes many built-in autocorrections. This will include commonly made mistakes like typing TEH instead of THE in the word the. So as we go along, I'll be pointing out those autocorrections. Continue typing, and when you get to the word the, okay, in this sentence, type in TEH and notice how Microsoft Word will make the correction. Notice I typed in TEH, I pressed the space bar after the word, and right away it makes the correction. Continue typing. Notice that if I go back to the word that I autocorrected, the, and I point to it, I see that little square, that rectangular box under the word the, showing me that that was an autocorrection. And if I point to the actual box, I get the autocorrection options. I'm going to click the arrow, and I get to see a few options regarding this correction that we made. We could change it back to TEH if there was something that I wanted to have in there. I could have it stop correcting the word the, or I could go to the autocorrect options menu. If you don't want to do anything else in here, you can hit the escape key, and that takes us out of that position. If you wanted to see the whole list of autocorrections, you can do it by going to the Backstage file. Then you have Options. Then you have Proofing. And then autocorrect options. And let's say we wanted to create one autocorrection. We would like to have Microsoft Word find the word censor. If we misspell it as SENSER, we could then say, well, we actually meant to say censor with an O. Then we can add this entry into our autocorrection, and then we can click OK. Now we can click OK to close the Word options and go back to the document. The autocorrect has a lot of built-in features which are very useful. Let me just go back to the screen for a second. For instance, if you type a word with 2 capital letters at the beginning, it automatically makes the first letter capital and then makes the second one lowercase. It capitalizes the first letter of any sentence, so after a period it automatically gives you a capital letter. Okay. When you're dealing with tables, it capitalizes the first letter of an entry in a cell. It capitalizes the names of the days. And if by mistake you have the caps key turned on and you start typing the first letter with a lowercase and the rest with uppercase, it automatically turns off the caps lock and allows you to continue. Okay, so these features are built in. Also, if for any reason you don't want the autocorrect to be enabled, you can always turn the feature off from here. Okay, so let me click OK. Okay, we're back to the document. Now I'm ready for the second paragraph. So as soon as I hit enter, again I get the same line spacing as before. I don't get any additional paragraph spacing, and I also get the first line in the indentation on the next paragraph. Now go ahead and type in the second paragraph. Now at the end of this particular paragraph, we're going to have Microsoft Word insert a citation. Now the citations we're going to use later on to have Microsoft Word create the bibliography. So to do that, we're going to go to References, then make sure that you see MLA 6th edition. Then we're going to click Insert Citation, and we're going to add a new source. In here we can have different types of sources. If I look at this drop down menu, I see that I can have a book section, journal, and so on. What we're going to do is to pick article in a periodical. Now depending on which source you pick, is the entries in this form that you're gonna have to complete. Now I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the entries for the different places in this form. So author, James Malilla, then title, so I'm going to click site title, how surveyors measure and calculate angles. Then I'm going to go to periodical title, and it should be today's modern surveyor. Next year, 2012. Next month, March, MAR. Next, pages 30 through 48. Once I've completed the information that goes with this particular source, you click OK.